Hello, welcome to Reverse Gatekeeping. I'm Stefan, and this channel is for me to infodump on you and hopefully by the end of it convert you into another fan of whatever I'm talking about. Now, I'm very passionate about rats. That sounds weird. Specifically, the Skaven. Now, the Skaven are a faction in Age of Sigmar which have a little bit of a content drought for a long time. Luckily, very recently, we got a new box, Skaventide, which, for the most part, it's been great. Amazing new models, new sculpts, a lot of good stuff. One thing really bothered me, and that's the reason why this channel, this video even exists, is I was so deeply offended about one of these models that I had to make something. I had to fix it. You know, this thing has been keeping me awake for a long time, and I think I finally have a good, an honest to God upgrade, solution, fix, call it what you want, and I wanted to bring you through this journey because it started a little bit of an obsession within me, and that is what this video is about. So, well, in this video, I'm gonna talk about the lore of Skaven machinery in a way, and also walk you through making your own Doomwheel. Now, why the Doomwheel, you ask? In my opinion, it is one of the coolest miniatures you can get for this army. The rules are a little wishy-washy, they're fun, honestly. You know, if you're playing Skaven, you're not playing to dominate. I hope you're not playing to dominate, because that's not the point. It's to blow up. It's specifically for things to blow up in your face. I love playing them. I have so much fun playing them, and nothing encapsulates the chaos that the Skaven are more than a Doomwheel. Now, the Doomwheel model is such a fun model to paint. It is so inspired, it has so many amazing details, and it kinda is the perfect marriage between whimsy and, you know, this warped engineering that the Skaven possess, which gives us this machine which seems both outrageous and 100% what a rat engineer would make. Now, what are these Doomwheels? Well, I have here behind me, I don't know if you can see them very well, but I will show close-ups later, but an army of Doomwheels. Specifically, one of the models that deeply offended me in this box is called the Skaven Rattling Warp Blaster. This thing is both fitting, and at the same time, I feel like it forgets it's a Skaven model. It is a, you know, revolving machine gun powered by warp lighting, and to my immense disappointment, it is being pulled by slaves. Now, yes, it fits the lore. Yes, it is kind of fitting. Is it the most original? No. Was I pissed about it? Yeah, a lot actually. It pissed me off, and I don't know, I want to talk about you about specifically this. I did not like that this thing was being pulled by slaves, and in the same miniature you have the technology to create a revolving gun. So you are telling me the Skaven have the technology and the machining skills to make this complex weapon, and then they just kinda get some rats to push it around? It seems terribly, well, it just seems like an afterthought, you know? I personally feel like it gets halfway there. It is almost a good Skaven model. So what I did is what I want to show you today. I kitbashed a Doomwheel, and I had a little bit of a rant about the Doomwheel, which I guess I will cut a little bit into it, but you just have to know, I really f***ing love the Doomwheel. Now, the Doomwheel is this, lovely rat feat of engineering that I think encapsulates the energy of the Skaven. Now, I have seen people run Doomwheel lists. It is a thing you can do, but I don't think I want to be running a meme list every time I play Age of Sigmar. So, you know, I try to come to a compromise where my love for the Doomwheel gets to show, and at the same time, it's still a viable, normal, playable Skaven list. And I think I did a pretty good job. Now, here I am showing you my work. This is the finished product, and I am gonna, in the second part of this video, we're gonna go through the steps and see how I achieved this very modular system of creating Doomwheels at a very affordable and very convincing results. So let's talk about the design of this. And for this, I would love to grab the model, actually. Here we go. Now, I will do some glamour shots so you can get into the nitty-gritty of this model, but what I want to talk about is just the things that this corrects on the model, right? So firstly, it gets rid of those slaves moving it, because in my opinion, if you already invested the metal, the engineering, the brain power into creating this sort of turret, why is it that you're just slapping it on a wooden board and pushing it with some rats? It makes me think of what I would come up as a child when I couldn't figure out more convincing car designs. You know, when you're playing with Lego and you really don't understand how all of the mechanics of a car would work, so you just kind of slap a platform with 4 wheels. That's kind of how that felt, you know? It is showing both complexity and severe lack of engineering at the bottom, where I think the Skaven are something that would come up with this abomination, OSHA-violating piece of rat technology, right? It is both lethal, whimsical, absolutely absurd, but it just tickles my brain the right way. It just makes me giggle when I look at it. It makes me smile. It makes me want to deploy this cannon, because at the end of the day, look at this. It is a well, yeah, it is a rattling gun, a warp blaster, mounted to a Doomwheel. This seems dangerous not only to me, but to the Skaven. And I think the designers were trying to imply those same emotions. If you watch the reveal, you will see that some of the people, or rats, who are pushing this wheel get crushed under by its own weight. And I think this conveys the message way more, because yes, at the end of the day, it is a core of the Skaven, the reckless disregard for rat life, but I think this endangers more rats, you know? At the end of the day, the pushback from this shooting might crush a rat or two. I want this to look dangerous. I want it to look like it's gonna do as much damage to me as it is gonna do to my enemy. That is, at the end of the day, what I love about the Skaven. It looks ramshackle, dangerous, and like it's gonna blow up. So let's talk about the details on this thing before I show you how I made it. Firstly, you're gonna see that I borrowed one of the crew members from the warp lightning cannon, which I also converted. Here are some shots of that. But I thought it needed crew. The crew is still an essential part of this, but I didn't like how it was represented. So instead I grabbed one of those engineers and I just put him here, minding his business. He's kind of like helping keep this complex machine running here. And yeah, so what I did here was I added the flag. The flag is an iconic part of the model, of the original Doomwheel as well. I love the detail, so I replicated it with a very clever technique that I think really complements this design and elevates it. So all in all, it is simple, yet, in my opinion, more lore accurate. Because at the end of the day, I feel like the engineers that made this cannon would 100% make the absurd decision to mount it on a Doomwheel. Now, I want to talk about lore a little bit. In my opinion, if the Skaven already had built the infrastructure to be moving around a Doomwheel in their arms, however they're transporting it, in the tunnels underneath, moving this thing, they already had to make it possible to be moving Doomwheels into the battlefield. It just seems a little inhumane to be moving this cannon for thousands and thousands of miles, when in reality I feel like this would be, at the end of the day, a standard for the Skaven army. If they already went through all the trouble of making one of them fit their infrastructure, they would adapt the infrastructure into making more of them, if that makes sense. And you know, maybe I'm getting into a little bit too, I'm getting too deep into the details, into the nitty-gritty of what is a Skaven model, right? But I kind of like doing that. That's what this channel is about. I love getting lost in the details, and this detail in particular is what I want to talk about, because it's what got me going. If the Skaven already have the infrastructure for a Doomwheel, they would 100% be more or less producing Doomwheels en masse to make it, first of all, viable to even do such a ridiculous machine, but also, yeah, if you already have the infrastructure and the machinery and the things set up to make one, I think they would be using it for other things. You know, I feel like it would be the standard, because first of all, it seems efficient to me. It seemed more efficient to me than just be having different rats workshops, I guess, making specific measurement of wheels for one and another, and I just feel like they would just have a bunch of, they would be pumping these puppies and then slapping their guns into this basic frame, which is what I'm gonna teach you. But before that, I want to take you to what this line of thought brought me to. So here we have the cannon. This is the Warp Lightning cannon, which I didn't know I didn't like the design until I changed this one, because it's more fun. This is more fun to me. This, at the end of the day, feels Skaven. This feels like a terrible idea, and that is, at the end of the day, I keep saying at the end of the day, this is the core of the army, right? Terrible ideas that somehow barely get you the win. And yeah, I have kitbashed all of my cannons to look like this, and it's honestly giving my army a sense of cohesion that it didn't have before, just by thinking a little bit about the lore and the logistics of how the Skaven factories would be tackling this issue. They're already producing the Doomwheel, so there's this Doomwheel Scryer workshop that makes them. I wanted to have different things mounted onto the Doomwheel. I tried it out, loved the idea. I keep swearing, I have to censor myself so much. I am not used to this. How do people do this? Yeah, the concept I love. I tested it, I saw it, I am convinced, I am converted. That's what I'm trying to do, by the way. I'm trying to convince you Skaven players that this is 100% the way to go with a Skaven army. And I'm gonna teach you to do it for real cheap, so you do it, because I don't want anything more than to see Skaven armies with Doomwheel caravans. You know, I want to see this model succeed. I want to see this thing spread out, because I think it's great. I think it's lovely. So this is a few examples of what the basic design can get you. But, of course, I couldn't stop thinking about it. And this is where it took me. By the way, this video is getting a little long, so I think what I'll do is I'll split it. This is where you can go get the actual tutorial. For right now, I am just showing it off. See if you like it. If I convince you, you go and watch the tutorial. If not, I'm just showing you some cool things I made. But here is the epitome of this design. So I have my friends over. they were so wonderful in the way they helped me workshop this idea further, because when I told them what I just told you, this lore, this idea that the Skaven works would 100% be making Doomwheels to create this like, it's like this the rat version of a car, you know. That's at the end of the day what this is. It is standardizing this method of transportation because they would have to build the infrastructure for it, and it feels inefficient not to use it everywhere. Now this abomination here is a Doomwheel conversion. This thing here is, I think, the peak of this design, and I love it. It is. So I'll show some pictures of the sketching I did and the planning I did with my friends. So we basically thought, okay, we have the Doomwheels, how can we convert this into a centerpiece for my army? Because what I ended up doing here is I combined all of the things I learned about doing the Doomwheel, and I kitbashed my favorite model of the army. I set out to make something akin to a centerpiece that I would be proud of displaying, because yes, the bell, it's a cool model. Again, that one is just kind of moving on its own, and I think that's even worse than the other one, which is getting pushed by rats. And I guess if you cover it with the rat units, it is implied that they're the ones who are pushing it. I don't like that it's just moving on its own. I don't like that it's just there, 6 wheels, and it's just standing. I don't like that. So what I did here is a mixture between, and this is what the sketches proved, or this is what the sketches came up with, was we have two visions for this. My girlfriend pointed out that this thing has kind of the silhouette of one of those old-time bicycles, and we loved that idea so much, but we gave it a twist. We basically decided that a chopper bike-riding Skaven fits the energy of a Doomwheel so well. On top of it, you can see that there is a rat who is posed, and this is the original rat from the kids, and I have posed him to look like he is driving a chopper. This chopper in particular is this huge thing. You can see the bell is down here, the spikes have been preserved, the structure, the original structure of the screaming bell has been kept. I just adapted it to this very simple wheel idea. That is the core of the Doomwheel. Plus some sprues, you can see the crazy tubes that go around it, the flag. It is such a wonderful effect on the battlefield that I think the Skaven army was missing, because as cool as this centerpiece is, the screaming bell, it didn't have a flag, and I think like the Skaven deserve more flags. So I love that these things, first of all, give you a perfectly reasonable in-universe excuse to be free-handing yourself some more banners. Because I don't know if you love this, but I love adding a little bit of color, a little bit of design, a little bit of it's just this thing that the army really benefits from, that really makes it feel like your own. And this is nothing crazy, it's some beige, it's some blue, my army's blue, and that's it. So I don't know, I feel like details like this, when you start piling them up on the battlefield and you start getting not 1, 2, or 3, it really feels like the Skaven are this invading force of chaotic biker gang, just crazy sons of bitch, sons of squeakers. This is another cannon, and this is the last of them. You know, this is yeah, it is my least favorite. I don't run this model very often, but I still did it to try it out. It's, you know, same concept. We grab a Doomwheel, which at the end, the core of this project is, it's so simple, it's so flexible, and it's so fun. to kitbash it, you make the wheel, and then it just grows from them, and all of the Skaven kits lend themselves so well to converting into this abomination in the battlefield. This, I would hate to have to fight this, because you know, you see it, it's swinging a huge bell of incense, it can move, it can trample troops, it's trampling its own troops, the rider seems completely unhinged, which is another lovely thing about this, is I think that the original one doesn't put focus on the wonderful, lovely miniatures that it comes with, so I think this does a better job of putting them at the front. Because I can see it more. I get to enjoy this very, very well sculpted model, and yeah, so a few cool things that you can take away from this one in particular is the tubes. Super cheap to make. It's a plague furnace, of course, it's you know, spewing out toxic fumes. It's just this crazy... I shouldn't tubes. It's just this crazy machine. At the end of the day, I want this to be I want it to look crazy. You know, am I wrong for playing a chaos army and wanted it to feel chaotic? I think that an army of just a fleet, if you will, of Skaven rat Doomwheel riders, it fills me up with joy. I love it. It's just, this concept is so fun to kitbash. If you guys love kitbashing, this is the project. This thing, I made one of them and I couldn't stop. I just had to keep going. I kept making them. I couldn't stop. I broke all of my models. That's the warp blaster gone. Lightning cannons, kitbashed. The bell didn't survive. I had to kitbash it as well. I had to do it, and I'm so glad I did. This here has reinvigorated my love for this army, and I think it just... I think the lesson from this is, if there's something in your army that is bothering you, 100% change it. Because I'm telling you, before that, this unit, I wasn't playing it. It was kind of in the corner of the shelf. It was a cool concept. I wasn't taking it. I wasn't excited to run it. Now, even regardless of the rules, if I get to deploy one more Doomwheel in my map, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it, because my city map looks so fun when the streets are being patrolled by this unhinged contingency of rats and Doomwheels. Here's the smallest one of them. The original, the thing that inspired this all. I love this model. I adore it. It's so Skaven. It just, you know, seeing it all together, I don't know, it does something. It just gets me excited to play the game. So, well, if I want you to take anything away from this video, is that there is so much you can do with just fixing the things that bothering you and really putting thought into the units. Because at the end of the day, I don't want to bash the designers, but they have deadlines. Sometimes things slip through the cracks. You know, things slip through the cracks, and if you think you have a better idea than whatever the design is, do it. 100% do it. And if you're a Skaven player, we have to get this thing going. We have to make this a thing, right? Like, this is Skaven. This is Scryer at its best. This makes me excited to run. And is it dumb? Is it stupid? Yeah, it's the Skaven. Of course it's stupid. Don't worry about it. Have fun with it. But yeah, if you want to learn how to do this, this is its companion video, I guess. This is just me talking about it, gushing about it. So yeah.